You weren't supposed to see the countdown change. Hello, everyone. This is Game Center Live. This is our weekly talk show broadcasting from NYU Game Center. We broadcast in our game library, which is actually at the same time as a class. So please pardon any background noise. It's just students learning. It's the sound of learning and education. Today we have a really great show for you today. We have the secret prequel to Death Stranding with Clara Fernandez-Vara. We'll also later be actually playing Death Stranding with a self-proclaimed recovering Kojima fanboy. We'll also have news with Naomi and Frank Lantz as usual. And then we'll close it off with an intro to Dwarf Fortress with alumni Jack Schlesinger. So we have a big show for you today, and our camera's a little bit shaky again, so sorry for that. Video's terrible, but we're trapped in it. Let's go ahead and move on to announcements real quick. So first of all, Playtest Thursday is tonight, 5:30 to 7 p.m. at 370 J Street, where we are on the 6th floor. This will be the last Playtest Thursday of the year. So if you've never come to a Playtest Thursday, please check it out now. This is your last chance, basically. This is open to students and the public for you to just come hang out, eat free pizza, and test your games. I should move over. I'm getting blocked. We're also, the captions are getting cut off again? Why does it keep doing that? Okay. Next, the NY Game Center Artist in Residence Marie-Claire LeBlanc Flanagan will be giving our last talk of the semester. That's tonight at 7 p.m. It's open to the public. Please get free tickets at our website, gamecenter.nyu.edu. Then Wonderville is running a show called Enter Play Mode. That's the student show by various Parsons Game students, and that's running this weekend, December 6th to December 7th, from 6 to 9 p.m. So there will be talks, all control games, and I believe free pizza as well, maybe. So for more info, visit wonderville.nyc for that, and catch a glimpse of the NYC Games academic school scene and check out more student work. Baby Castles is also running their 2020 fundraising party, or 2019. It's not really 2020 yet. I mean, they're fundraising for the future, okay? That will be next Saturday, December 14th. There'll be lots of games, music, and performances to support your local DIY games gallery. So please attend their fundraising party. Visit babycastles.com for more info on that. And then lastly, if you are a student here at Game Center, please attend our winter show / hangout. That's next Thursday, December 12th. So that'll be near the end of the semester. That'll be 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Thursday, December 12th. And this is a more casual event than our more formal spring show. This is a more casual thing where you just show off your work in progress projects and hang out with classmates and eat some food and have some holiday snacks and stuff. If you have friends or family, feel free to invite them, but this isn't meant to be your big public showcase thing. This is meant to be just a fun holiday hangout thing to close out the year. And also, as another reminder, Killer Queen 5v5 Fridays are still running. Please attend and learn how to play Killer Queen and hang out with some of the best Killer Queen players in the world. And that happens every Friday night at 7 p.m. on the 6th floor lounge, pretty much right behind me. You can even see our Killer Queen cabinets over there. So if you're interested in joining 5v5 Fridays, just talk to Charles Pratt or join the Killer Queen NYC Facebook group, or just show up and see what happens. And as usual, please check out our website, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all that jazz. We're on the internet. Please visit us and talk to us to get to know us. Okay. So that's our morning announcements or noon announcements. moving on, I'd like to introduce our guest for our first segment. Our first guest is, let me turn on your mic, is Clara Fernandez-Vara, who is faculty here at Game Center. Welcome, Clara.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
Do you want to introduce yourself to the viewers who might not be familiar with you or your work while I get this stuff set up?
Yes. So, yes, I'm faculty here at the Game Center. I focus on game studies. That's where I come from, and also narrative games. But also one of my passions is actually talking about game history and kind of discovering things that people might not have been familiar with. So the game that I'm going to be talking about today is a game that I grew up with. Well, there's actually two games, because I have to talk about the first game and then the sequel. But these games were for the platform MSX. It was a computer standard that was from Japan in the 1980s. And a lot of the most famous games that were published by Konami, for example, come from the MSX, were published first in the MSX. So we're going to start with Antarctic Adventure, and this is leading up to Kojima, I swear. But first I wanted to show Antarctic Adventure. I don't know if we can see it because we're seeing the captions, which is a cartridge game by Konami from 1984. And this is a very...
Oh my god, this is a real box. This is like
real box,
the real...
and the cartridge is inside.
Look, history, wow.
Yes.
Okay, I'll hold it up.
Yes. So the MSX was kind of similar to the Commodore 64 in a way. It did have some cartridge slots. And what Konami was doing was publishing different arcade games. What they did with Antarctic Adventure was taking what we're going to see in a minute is a racing game, it's a car game, and reskin it with a penguin, so that you're basically running around Antarctica trying to connect different base stations from different countries. So in a way, it's like a racing game, as we're going to see. And what we're going to do...
I don't know what's going on.
Let's see if the emulator allows us. If not, I can show you the actual cartridge. This is what these cartridges look like.
So games used to be on cartridges. Wow.
This big. And they're similar to the ones in the SNES, but they were before, they were contemporary to the NES ones. And let me see if I have the manual. These manuals were kind of cute. This is the Japanese version of it. And they have like super cute penguins. One of the things that people were mentioning to me on Twitter, if you've played the Konami game Parodias, it has a penguin that shoots.
Oh, our camera's gone.
Oh, no. Do we have sound, at least, so I can keep talking?
We do have sound.
Okay.
I don't know where the camera's gone, though. Uh-oh.
Okay.
I think our cam link might have finally died.
Did I break it?
Is it not working at all? Okay, let's just switch to our game feed.
Okay, let's take to the feed and then, well, we can open
oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, let's try to get this emulator running. Oh, wait, it's running again. Oh my god, you're magic. Yay.
Okay.
Okay, let's go here and we'll full
the
screen
protagonist of this game is...
No, full screen does not work. I'm sorry, hold on.
It doesn't clone? No. Let's see. I'll play normal window. Will it do it?
I don't know how. I think we have to just play in this weird window,
That's
but
fine.
I don't know why.
That's how I've been, refreshing how to play this game.
Okay, I'm
fine.
sorry. Okay.
It's fine. Been through worse. Okay. So I don't know if we have the sound.
And I don't know why captions keep breaking. Sorry to anyone who's relying on the captions.
Okay. So we're going to play with keyboard. And this music, I don't know. We don't have the music from the emulator.
We did not get the audio.
But the music from this game is actually called the Skaters. It's a classical piece. And as you see, this is basically a racing game. It's hard to play without this sound, actually.
Are we getting any?
It's okay.
I don't know if we're getting any game sound. Can you listen on the stream?
So if you look at this, game, what is interesting is that, the penguin, we just hit a seal, enemy seal according to the manual. And what we have to do is picking up, this is basically racing within a specific amount of time. Yep, we have to get to the base as fast as possible. What they've done is taking what would technically be a car and made into a penguin that can jump. Wow, we're missing the amazing sound that it makes when we bump into a seal. And what we're doing is trying to get to the base within the allotted time. In order to
gaming audio is too loud. I'm sorry.
Sorry. We don't hear it ourselves. I don't hear it.
Can you mix that lower? Thank you.
Okay. So what we're seeing here is that we have these like little lakes that would be like a car, right? And we have to pick up the fish, which are basically part of our score. And we just see how we're getting to the base. And we made it. Yay! And whenever you come to a base, there will be
we're in Australia.
This is the Australian base.
Oh.
So you go around and you have the bases.
Oh, right. All the nations are carving up Antarctica.
So it's like if you see, we are going around. This game was actually released in English as well. There was a European version.
Right. Okay. So this version is called Antarctic Adventure, but it's also known as Penguin Adventure.
No. This is Antarctic Adventure. This is the first game.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to play Penguin Adventure in a second. But I needed to show this so that this is basically a walking simulator.
So this is So Kojima worked on this.
No, he didn't. It's the next one. So what he worked on is Penguin Adventure, which is a sequel. So let me.
Okay, so this is background to understand what Kojima's working
where it comes
with.
from, because otherwise, like when we play Penguin Adventure, it's very weird and it gets very busy very fast. So again, this is a racing game with a penguin, and what the obstacles here are basically what would be, cars. In another game. It's just reskinning it, but because we have a little penguin who can jump, I'm going right into the seals. This is becoming kind of like it's racing with a penguin, but it's really about getting from one place to another and in a way connecting the different bases. It's like a pilgrimage game with a penguin.
Oh, so it's about connecting humanity
so you see
across Antarctica, kind of like Death Stranding.
Yeah, so we're seeing this is kind of like the beginning of it. I played the hell out of it.
But instead, Norman Reedus were a cute cartoon penguin.
Yes. Well, in the
That's
next
an improvement,
one, yes.
I think.
Well, he gets cuter in Penguin Adventure. So let's see if we can get how much time do we have left. I think we make it. It's going to be tight.
Why are there so many holes in Antarctica?
What
is wrong with
the
Antarctica?
ice cap melting? So.
Oh my God. So this is made in 1984, but this is still like a concern back then.
Yeah, the ozone layer was going to help back then too. All right. Okay, so we can move to Penguin Adventure. So this is the box of Kojima's first game. He was not the lead designer. He was an assistant. And in this game, he is very cute. Penta is the protagonist. And as I was saying before, he was in the Parodius games. But actually his son Pentaro was in the Parodius games, in the shooter games, and it's very cute. And these manuals by Konami back then, by the way, they're so cute. If you've played La Mulana and you've looked into the manual that came with it, it's imitating these manuals.
Oh, we're in hell. Wait, what's happening?
So we're in cave. This is for the same platform, the MSX, and they had realized that they could do much more with the platform. And what this does is adding, and if you look at the back of the box, it says that there's RPG. So this is Penguin Adventure with RPG elements. And I'm going to put a cheat code because this gets really hard. So if we look at the opening screen, there's poor Penta who's crying, and then there's the Princess Penguin, that's what she's called. And it's because she's sick. So she got sick, and Penta has to go to the Dream Continent to find the golden apple that he's going to bring to the Penguin Princess to heal herself. I'll tell you in a second how it's really hard to do that for many reasons. But as we see, like what we're going to play in a second, I think is Noriko. So what we're going to see is that we're also racing, but we're racing against time. We're going to the dream continent, and there's going to be a variety of landscapes. What that brings, that also connects with Death Stranding, apart from Kojima himself, is that we have different terrains, and the different terrains also have different physics. Mind you, how we don't have a sport anymore. We're picking up fish.
Oh, it's much slower.
You can the
Oh, you
speed,
control the speed.
Yeah,
right.
You control the speed because this is less about racing and more about picking up items. There's enemies. You can buy a gun for this. Let me see. So let me show you how now there's holes where you can go and barter. You can buy things with your fish. I don't have enough fish because I just started, and this is a mean merchant. But see how you have the green shoes are for speeding up. These propeller hat is for jumping higher. There's a gun. You can buy a gun for your penguin.
This is a huge escalation from the simple arcade stuff, actually, of the previous
game. So,
game.
You have a lot more things. There's a lot more things to keep track of. Starting with a lot of these items to change the way that you navigate, but also what it has is these special items to protect you from specific enemies. You can shoot down enemies. There's going to be lightning rods. So there's a lot to do. There's also a slot machine that I'm going to bet some fish.
Wait, this is a slot machine that uses fish?
Yes, so that you can get more fish.
That's really disgusting. Hard. It's think about how it would work, all the gears.
Yeah, so it's kind of the whole slot machine that we have now and free to play.
Ew, and then
this game did it first.
And then there's old fish just rotting inside the slot machine. That's disgusting.
Yes. So we can play with our. Oh wow!
Oh my God, you're so good. You're good at slots.
Am I? Okay, so I got 4. So I'm not going to bet more. You can bet up to 3 times. You can also get a power up that will allow you to bet more times. But yeah, this is. I think this is one of the nice guys. But we don't have enough fish to buy anything. So we're going to go, and he's like, thank you very much. See you again. There's some of the merchants that are way meaner when you don't buy anything, but he was nice. So yeah, we have more landscapes. Again, different landscapes have slightly different physics. When you're on ice, you slide. You have to. It's not about running as much as dodging and managing. Oh, I just missed because I was too fast. I missed this other shop which had a meaner guy.
So there's a complex trade-off between should I go too fast? Should I collect more fish?
Yeah, and this is as you see here, it's a bit busier. There's less sliding. Arctic Adventures does have inertia, so it's actually one of the best ways to go through that game. Is just going fast and staying to one. One side of the screen is going to be so hard. But I think that we're near. And, we get to each station. Now there's not a base station. Now we're going to these, kind of small temple. And our penguin is very tired. And whenever he's tired, he kind of reveals what he is thinking of. In this case, is the princess. At times he thinks about beer. At times he thinks about apples. So there's also a bonus stage. You can get this 2 wings, which we didn't see this time around, and you can go out in space and go faster. So now we're underground again. There's different physics. This is not as slippery, but there's also more holes. And what is interesting here, okay, so here's the fun story of Penguin Adventure, and one of the reasons why I talk about it in my classes to this day. Because the ending of the game, like the goal is to get the golden apple to save the princess, right? It's a kind of
just like
damsel
Death
in distress, yeah, right. So what happens is that if you get the golden apple, oh, that was a shop, I missed it. If in order to get the golden apple, people didn't know how to get the good ending. Most people got the sad ending. You got to the end and the princess was dead.
Oh my god,
yes.
What? This game was very morbid.
It was very morbid. And people finally figured out...
Just like Death Stranding.
Yes. Well, and also like PT, if you've played PT.
Oh, yeah.
Where people just like, we don't know how we got the ending. So the key to win this game is to pause once.
Wait, I don't understand.
You pause the game once.
What do you mean you pause the game once?
You pause the game once.
Why
Not
does that...
twice.
Why does that fix... Oh.
It's not bad.
Wait, so there's just a piece of code that detects if you pause more than once and gives you a bad ending?
If you pause more than once, it gives you a bad ending. If you don't pause at all, it gives you a bad ending. You have to pause once to get the good ending.
Excuse my French, that's kind of fucked up.
Yes.
That's weird. Like, what...
Welcome to...
What if you have, like, a child and you have to pause? What if you have...
Well, that's not something that people thought about in 1986.
Or, like, what if, like, someone calls you? Or what if you're, like...
Yep, no. I mean, like, the idea... Like, back in the day, like, the whole idea of, like, save games was not a thing. We have a lot of fish. I want to go to those shops.
Oh my god, you have so much fish. You're gonna be able to buy a lot of stuff.
I hope so, but it might be also very expensive depending on who I find. So, we made it.
Wait, why is the penguin worried? What's happening?
He's tired, and then he's thinking, again, I think that it depends on how well you do, but it's kind of random. But yeah, there's ones that, when I was playing yesterday, he thinks about beer.
The world is so Wait, what? So this doesn't resemble Earth. This is not on Earth anymore.
This is a dream.
It's a dream world.
So that's part of why it's, kind of fucked up. Like, why would you think of pausing the game just once, make you win this game? What the hell is that?
In the chat, Grundislav asks, does it matter how long you pause for?
No, it's just pausing.
Just pausing at all?
Yes.
Like, I can ruin this run by pressing the pause button right now.
Well, not so here the trick is that, okay, let's go to the shop.
Wait, how do you know that one's the shop?
Because they're smaller.
Oh.
Okay, so we can buy... Ooh, do you want to buy the gun or the propeller?
Wait, what's the gun for? There's no one to shoot in this game.
Coming up, although the enemies is better to dodge them rather than shoot them.
Okay.
Because it gets very complicated. I'll go for the hat. Because it does help a bit more on those.
Oh, that is a cool hat.
Yeah, it's a propeller hat.
Oh my god, will it like show up on your sprite now in the game?
No, that's the thing. It's like it doesn't. It just adds in the
That'd be so cute. A penguin wearing a hat.
But it does change the way that you run. So what is interesting here, and again, this is connecting to Death Stranding, is that the way that you run, the power-ups, like you have to manage your assets in order to optimize how you get from one point to another.
Yes.
And yeah, it's kind of weird. Also, another weird part of trivia, if you look at this helmet, oh, he's angry because we're not buying something for him. He's the angry guy.
We already bought something. Why is he so upset with us?
Yeah, it's like you must buy something. He's just angry. Okay. So that helmet is from the game Maze of Gallius, which was one of the references, one of the inspirations for La Mulana. And there's there's items from that game which also took something that was like a shooter and reskinned it and made it into a game and kind of like an RPG where you had to get elements and you had to kind of like manage like how you got places. So yeah, this guy's angry, and going back to the question of like how long does it take? It's like it's just just pausing the game once. Because I put in a cheat code in case I don't defeat the dinosaur when we get to the dinosaur. Hopefully we get to the dinosaur. that counter resets whenever you restart the game. You cannot restart the game. This is also kind of old-fashioned. Once you die, you have to start over. Konami released a couple of cartridges with like cheat codes that you could put in. You could put in 2 cartridges, so you could put the game and you could put the cheats.
In the cartridge.
Yes. Yeah. So no. So it's like they would have 2 slots. So you would have this in 1 slot, and you could combine it. And actually, there were combinations of cartridges.
Wait, you have to put both game cartridges in?
Yep.
What?
Because they had 2 slots.
Why do you need 2 slots in a game console?
To do things like cheating or add memory, for example. But yeah, like Konami did release. You could also use that slot for the printer.
A printer? Why do you need a printer for a... PlayStation 4s don't need printers. Why do you need a printer?
But MSX were home computers.
Oh.
Home computers, so you would.
Okay.
But yeah, you could put 2 cartridges, and some combinations would give you like items and like extra stuff. And yeah, Konami released one that was for like infinite lives and things like those. Okay, so let's see if we can get to the, buy more. Wait, damn it.
5 more
really
minutes.
Yeah.
Get as far as you can in the next 5 minutes. Or maybe 10, depending on if Matt gets here. Let's see.
He's in his class. Okay, so now we can see how we jump way higher because we have our propeller hat, but it doesn't show in our sprite. It's so weird to play this game without sound. Okay, so now I think that we're getting the enemies. I don't know, they're just black balls that are angry at us, and then this gets like very busy.
Wait, is that like oil? Is that...
I don't know.
Oil that's come alive?
It's enemies, so it's like, no, I totally lost because I had no control when the enemy was coming.
Never mind.
Don't
worry, it's okay.
Yeah, the other thing that changes from Penguin Adventure is that when you die in these levels, you're actually
Oh my god, this is so hard.
This.
Oh my god. And stressful. This is much more difficult than Death Stranding.
Well, yeah, it's more stressful. I don't know if it's much like there's a lot more things to take care of. That's true. So yeah, the screen gets very busy, and I think that one of the parts that is, let's say,
hasten slowly.
Yes. It might make sense in Japanese, but not in English. One of the things that they were also showing off, because this is a later title, is how they had figured out to have a lot of sprites on the screen.
Right, yeah, it's much busier than the previous game.
Yeah, so it's like this is, in a way, it's a technical feat.
I thought the propeller beanie was going to help us.
It is helping us jumping higher.
Okay.
So now we're jumping much higher, and I'm just trying to stay on the side. I don't know if this is what I
think it's a good strategy.
I
you
am
got
picking
this.
the fish. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, so here's the boss. So we have bosses as well.
Oh my god.
Like, scary. And this is kind of hard. It's like, okay.
How do you beat a boss? You didn't buy the gun. Why didn't you buy the gun?
No, because it's no. Oh wow, I did that. I don't know how I did that, but okay. So we have to break the eyes. No. Okay.
Oh, so close.
So hard. No. Okay.
Oh my god.
I did. This is why I put the cheat code. I don't know. I think that we have to do the level again. So.
Wait, so what did the cheat code do?
The cheat code, whenever you die, you start in the same level and you keep your items. So you
that's not bad.
Fish,
okay.
So we can still,
Wait, that's still not really a cheat, like...
For the time, it was better than having to restart the game.
I expected a cheat code to be like infinite life or something.
Yeah, but then...
Here the cheat code is make it slightly more reasonable.
Well, I mean, back then, like a lot of the home computers in the 80s... Oh, let's go see if we can... we're just going to see this
Buy more
guy.
stuff. Oh, you only have 2 fish, though.
I only have 2, so bye-bye.
He's not having it.
Yeah, he's like, whatever you do, he's angry, so it's okay. But yeah, like back then, like the cheat codes were to make games playable. It's not like super easy, just playable most of the time. And here it's like, yes, part of the fun is playing it and not having to restart. So we have, I don't know if these like oil drops, I don't know. And then that heart is giving us a bit more time, I believe. But you can also get a cloud and fly over everything.
Oh my god, really?
Yes.
The cloud is awesome, OP.
Yeah, but it doesn't always change to blue. So it's like the last thing that it changes to. Okay, so here like we see how, I'm staying also on the side because there is more inertia because of the curves, but also it's slippery. Mm-hmm. And again, so like the type of terrain does matter for how you play the game. This is probably the hardest part of the level. Okay, yes, I got it. Yes. So I got the cloud, and I'm flying over everything. It's just limited, and I'm not going to hear when it's going to go away. I think
this is just like the highways in Death Stranding.
Yes.
I'm seeing all the connections. You can't stop
the thing.
me.
It's like this is well, I was seeing them before. That's why I wanted to talk about this. I'm like, I think that he's made this game already. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the fun things of this game is like how rich and weird it gets. Okay, so let's see if we can get the dinosaur.
So why do we have to fight these dinosaurs are in league with whoever kidnapped.
No, they just live in the
mom
dream
penguin.
continent. So okay.
Oh my god, you're so pro. Oh my god.
I don't know.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So hard. Okay.
This is kind of a subtle like boss fight mechanism though, right? It's like pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's like you kind of fight him. It's the last one. Please. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we make the whole thing sink. We're a little penguin. We might have a gun,
We drowned
but
another animal.
Enough.
Yeah.
And then we have the little penguins dancing.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Because we defeated the dinosaur. So he's very happy and very cute. But also like it's very interesting because you're like not very powerful, so you're just sinking, this dinosaur to the ground. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if we. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we might.
I think that we could just like leave it there, but this is another part of the terrain.
Okay, so let's do our last final appeal to everyone in the chat. Why is this the prequel to Death Stranding?
It is a walking simulator.
It's a walking simulator.
Terrain and the physics matter. You have to do a lot of management of like what are the things that you have. What are the physics? Do you want to really speed up, or do you want to really care about how you're getting from A to B? So yeah, and also like the weirdness of still rescuing the princess that is going to die, and will die anyways if you don't pause at least once.
Oh my god, I've paused so many times in Death Stranding.
You're doomed.
I'm gonna get the bad ending in Death Stranding now. Oh no! Oh. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. This has been really fun.
And thank you for educating us. If you want to be a real video game hipster, be like Death Stranding. I liked it better when it was Antarctic Adventure.
No, yeah, Penguin Adventure.
Penguin Adventure. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're gonna change over now to our next segment where we'll play some contemporary Death Stranding and compare and contrast what's happening. And joining us for that will be some familiar faces who've previously been featured on this program. Rowan and Matt Weise. Here, do you want to sit here? Here's your mics. Let's get you hooked up. Do you want to take that one? And you can take this one. Just clip it on and turn it on. I'm going to try to get the PS4 started, hopefully, without exploding. But in the meantime, do you want to talk a little bit about Death Stranding and what you think you're going to be focusing on?
What we think we're going to be focusing on. Yeah. All right. So we're going to be talking about Death Stranding, which I know it's coming right after Clara talking about Penguin Adventure, and the idea is that was Kojima's first game, technically, the first game he worked on. So his first foray into the world of player trolling and having weird design decisions in a game. And that game famously had, you must have just talked about it, but just like you can only get the right ending if you like pause the game at the right part, but only once. So it's like super weird. So this whole idea of like Kojima like this like bad boy kind of. Okay, that's fine. So that's kind of like so going from that, you know, that game that a lot of people haven't heard of. Everybody think of him as like starting with Metal Gear, but really he's done like a few other things. He did this Penguin game, and then like kind of like cut to now, and we've got this kind of like this kind of new big. He's become this huge famous game designer. We've got this like big crazy game he just worked on that everybody's talking about, and it kind of has some of the same qualities going all the way back to his like first work. And so that's my kind of take as to like why we're here, what we're talking about, why we're talking about it. There we go.
Yeah, the crush thing. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the best part.
That is definitely, it's a very Kojima kind of thing. And then so that's kind of my take on it. Also, like I'm kind of like I was a big Kojima fan for a long time. I liked a lot of the Metal Gear games. I know a lot about them, so I know a lot about his work and his other work that's not Metal Gear, even before Death Stranding. So that's kind of like why I'm here and why I wanted to talk about it. But what is your?
So I'm a very new to Kojima. I played a little bit of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay.
But then.
So wait, Metal Gear Solid 5 is your first Kojima
My
game?
first Kojima game.
That is your first Kojima game?
Yeah. So I think I have a very different perspective.
What? So this fascinates me. So like, what is this?
I just really like any open world game.
Okay.
So I'm like, that looks interesting, and like it was, and then I really don't like combat in games.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, there's like Metal Gear Solid 5, but you can do all the cool things in it that aren't just fighting people. That seems interesting.
You mean like the stealth stuff and the like
stealth stuff.
the weird like tactical stuff where you can just like, oh, I don't want to infiltrate that castle, so I'll just like call in an airstrike.
Yeah, and like the fact that you can like the weird resource management thing that's like you can do stuff with it, but you really don't need to. Like
Yeah.
I just like the idea of. And then also the game was just like hyped so much. Death Stranding, I was like, I had no idea what it was, and then eventually it's like, oh yeah, you just like, you're the FedEx man. Yeah, you're just playing as like a guy who works for Amazon, and like.
Your mic is not on. Let me swap out your batteries. Keep going.
Oh, is my mic on?
Yours is on.
Can you hear him?
We're hearing you through that.
So it's not, but he's not silent. Is what
Okay,
I'm saying.
okay.
Yeah,
It's hard
okay.
to hear you.
Okay.
Swapping.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's really interesting to me that like a game where it's just like the delivery of the items and not like you do use them, but it's mostly about the delivery.
Sure.
That's just super cool, and I've never really played a game that does stuff like that.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Wow. I had no idea that like that your first one was MGS5, and like
Newbie.
And like they're like super newbie at the whole thing. So what is your sense of like his kind of like weirder, more eccentric design proclivities? Like which of those did you encounter on Metal Gear Solid 5? Because Metal Gear Solid 5, I think, unlike Death Stranding, is like at least ostensibly presented on the surface as more of like a kind of a espionage genre spy thing, right? Whereas like Death Stranding is like you have to buy into the weirdness like out of the gate. Whereas like I think Metal Gear like sneaks up on you more, right?
I think, because like the first part of Metal Gear Solid 5 is like you escaping out of a hospital while it's being burned by ghosts.
Yeah, it does start weird.
Okay, yeah. So I was like, I thought it was like a serious, like very realistic.
Let me just.
Oh yeah.
I'll just do this so people have stuff to look at.
Yeah. Because I thought like, oh yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5. That seems like a very like realistic, like here's how it's like in Afghanistan sort of game. But then it was like, oh yeah, here's some ghosts. Like they're burning your hospital down. Are you gonna escape on like a motorcycle and then like a helicopter?
Yeah.
And then just like,
and a flaming horse.
Yes, yeah, the flaming horse.
And the whale.
The whale.
There's a whale that eats a helicopter in the opening of Metal Gear Solid 5, as your friend the cowboy saves you on his flaming horse.
Yeah, but then like when you play Metal Gear Solid 5.
But it's a spy game about Afghanistan.
Yeah, it's like there's just large periods where you're just like, oh yeah, realism. I'm gonna like, I get dirty and then like I gotta like wash up with it. But then then there's like, oh yeah, here's like this like floating little boy and like he's gonna kill you and you're like, what? I don't like this.
That's right.
And then like the chicken hat.
Oh, the chicken hat.
Yeah. Like if you just suck so much, you get a chicken hat that makes it easier. And I was like, okay, so like this is like like 80% realistic, 20% just Kojima going like wild with like just the weirdest stuff. And like it's very like him going weird with the stuff with Death Stranding is like makes sense.
Yeah.
But also I only know like the one step.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. So
yeah.
this is like I can't even see. Oh, there
Yeah,
we go.
the button.
I can't see what the prompts are.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, so we're leaving. We're gonna walk.
The best
We're gonna do some walking. So my take on this game, it's funny. People were like, "Oh, this is like a walking sim," which of course it is, but with like emphasis on the sim part of it.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, like, it's like.
Oh, we're getting a.
We're getting a cutscene with Mads Mikkelsen
I think it's a Santa hat.
with a Santa hat, because of course.
Yeah.
Because so this is you being fed the memories of a fetus that you wear on your stomach in a little fetus pouch, as you do, which of course you could get if you pre-ordered the game in the best package. So like clearly this is like Christmas for Mads Mikkelsen, who's here, who's like the creator of your brain baby. And this is you interfacing with your brain baby's consciousness, and this is the stuff that he remembers. So every time you go to sleep, you kind of like get a memory from your brain baby. And this is one of them. See, it's brain baby's birthday.
I haven't seen this one.
I mean, it shouldn't be his birthday, right? Because he's not born.
True. Or is it Christmas? He's wearing a Santa hat?
Oh, no, you're right. It's not his birthday. I'm like, why is
Yeah.
it? Why am I saying birthday? It's it's Christmas. Yeah.
Oh, it's the.
It's a thing. I got one of those in Chelsea Market.
Yeah. There's literally like a little bit hidden character in the first area called Ludens fan,
Okay.
who like he wants you to like deliver him like.
Wait, is he giving you a gun for Christmas?
Wait, what?
I'm done fighting. You're all that matters to me now.
This is like a longer one. Like,
This is pretty. This is actually pretty long.
It's
Yeah.
like a very.
This is like. I want to. You know what? I want a video that's just all these cut together.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, sometimes
Baby vision.
the cool thing about these is that sometimes you get like the same one but slightly longer.
Yeah.
So like that's always interesting because you're like, oh, I see this before, but like, oh, it's like slightly more information. And, like,
Yeah.
it's like a really cool storytelling mechanism of like, it's like every so often you leave, you see like some weird lore thing. Oh, I think the camera's all messed up.
Camera's is it facing the wrong direction?
Progress.
There we go.
Okay,
There we
cool,
go.
Cool. Yeah. But yeah, about it being like a walking sim, like there's always like the walking sim as like an insult, right? But then like everyone just kind of took it and was like, it is a walking sim, it's good. But then this is literally a walking sim with like the most mechanical walking of any game.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like people are like, because the thing is like this takes all the open world, complex, like multi-layered systems design of MGS5 and dumps it all into I got to deliver my Amazon package.
Yeah.
So it's like the same level of strategy and decision making I'd be using to like take that fortress on that mountain. I'm now using to try to get my Amazon package to the next town.
Yeah. Also, it's like you like after a little while you just kind of see hills and you're like, no, I hate it.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's
yeah.
kind of how you walk when you're like actually hiking, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
oh, I can like walk a little bit longer, but to avoid this like hard terrain, which like you don't really do in other games.
Yeah. No, because look at this. Here's the thing. So I'm on my bike, my awesome bike, which you've painted purple.
So I didn't get this bike. This is actually like an online stored bike that I just like took from storage because like you're able to do that.
Yeah.
So like, why make your own bike?
Somebody got you. So you bought this bike from another player.
You don't have to buy it. It's literally like a shared thing. Like someone just like
okay.
someone just put it in the shared storage, and I'm like,
Sharing?
I'll take it. Yeah, this game's all about sharing.
Communist. Okay, so here we go. So we are going to. What is with his outfit? This is like. Do I have some kind of like?
I'm like, you can store stuff on your arms.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
putting, like, I think I have some like equipment on my arms.
Okay.
But otherwise, I'm not carrying.
But here's the thing. So like, if you do this, like, you have this like sensor, which just goes like that.
Powered by the baby.
Which is of course powered by the baby, by my bridge baby. It's called a bridge baby, but it's connected to your brain, which is why I was calling it a brain baby. But it's a bridge baby, and the idea is that it's called a bridge baby because it's a bridge between the world of the living and the world of the dead. Because the mother is actually dead.
Yeah, the mother
and it is like flatlined
Yeah.
or something, but like still somehow. Or not flatline, but they're like brain death or something. But they're like alive somewhere.
Yeah, and then like the baby is like hooked up to the Wi-Fi to their stillborn mother.
So they're like, I mean, it's
It's-
horrifying and problematic, but it
Yeah.
is part of the world building of like why the baby is connected with the world of death.
Yeah.
And that's why the baby can sense things that are like supernatural.
Yeah.
And so in addition to being able to sense terrain, the baby can also sense like ghosts,
Yeah, and like
which are the things that try to stop you from delivering your Amazon
yes,
package.
the ghost. Yeah. So when I first saw my roommate playing this game, because when there's ghosts, the baby's like letting you know, like showing little blips to show like, oh, there's a ghost nearby. But like the ghosts are invisible. So I just saw my roommate like freaking out over nothing, and I was like, what is happening? But then I played the game. I was like, oh yeah, there were like ghosts there, but you just can't, you can't see them.
Yeah.
Like it's this crazy concept of like the screen always pretty much looks like, oh, I'm just delivering a package, but like it can have these like really like
really tense
moments. And it's just like, oh, it's like
Here's a baby.
you can like pick up the baby.
Here's a it's that button.
Yeah, and then like
I know you got to
you
go like
physically move,
you rock the baby.
and then your baby's like if it likes you, it's like heart. It's like
Yeah, I know, the bubbles to
little
become a
hearts.
heart.
Oh,
So this itself, this right here is like absolute like peak Kojima.
Yeah.
Right, like this with the motion controls and the baby.
and the baby's
The baby laughs like through the thing. You can hear the baby here.
Oh,
So like it's crazy, but and then you got to keep your baby happy. If your baby gets upset, also I've heard this game compared to. Do you ever play Yoshi's Island?
is it the one where like you're Yoshi carrying Baby Mario?
Yeah, it's the one where you're Yoshi carrying Baby Mario. But the way that works is like you never die in it just by losing your health. You die because when you get hit, Baby Mario gets knocked off, and then Baby Mario starts crying, and then you have to go get Baby Mario.
Oh my god.
And like every time you die in this, like if like the ghosts from the other world like come and get you, it's always really harrowing because like you hear the baby crying because the baby gets really upset, and so every time you die, it's always to the sound of like the baby going, "Mah!" And then you're like, no, baby, I failed you, baby, and then you get taken to like this other world, but then you don't even die. Like so there's something about your character. I forget what the name of it is.
Repatriate.
A repatriate, which means that like you can't die.
Yeah.
When you die, you go to some other world where your soul is separated from your body. And the way that I knew my soul was separated from my body when that first happened to me is I saw a body floating in the water, but it had my PlayStation screen name on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's me. And I was, and then like, so I had to like swim through the ether over to myself. And then I had to like, my soul had to enter my body again, which really meant that I was like reclaiming my avatar. And then I had to, and then you come back.
Yeah.
But if you do that, you like blow up part of the map.
Yes. Yeah. So literally, like,
Which is why it's like you can come back to life, but it comes at the great expense. It's like an atomic bomb going off.
Yeah. I'm ready. Weapons restrictions lifted. Okay.
So it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, because I thought that like the whole like people blowing up when they die thing was like just a weird mechanic Kojima put in so that you.
Oh, this is a road.
Yes. So yeah, we're in chapter 3.
This is like a road.
Yeah. So you can put a bunch of resources in, and then also like other people who you share the world with can also put in resources to literally like, make roads that make your like just it easier to travel. And
That is crazy.
Yeah. So like a lot of times what I'll do is I'll like.
Whoa.
Is I'll just expend all my resources making roads and just not deliver things for a few hours, and then I'll just like make a crap ton of deliveries all at once.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is about, so the whole theme of this is connecting America.
Yeah. They constantly talk about it.
It's like, I know, they talk about it all the time. Because that's the other thing about Kojima, like his writing is, so the weird thing about Kojima is that he's both like subtle and unsubtle at the same time. Because it's like, it's like as if you had somebody like David Lynch, who was like just doing crazy, like subconscious, weird kind of stuff that where he's not really even explaining what he's saying. And then there's like, so it'll be like that, but then like the next scene will be like thuddingly on the nose, obvious dialogue, right? You know.
There's a character in this game. There's a character in this game named Fragile, and that's just her name. She's just named Fragile.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's kind of like reminds me of like Quiet. Where,
Yeah.
Like, that's their name.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, the funny
it's a
thing,
little.
I can't wait for. I feel like in the next Kojima game, there's going to be a character called Metaphor, and
Yeah. So Fragile wants to like rebuild America's infrastructure because it is so fragile, and you're like, okay, okay, cool.
So the frustrating thing is, and not to defend Kojima too much, but like he's actually been kind of like sliding down this slope for a while, where like in the past, like it wasn't always that way, especially with his characters who are women. So like there are characters in the past who, I think, in his games who were not that kind of. They weren't just like empty signifiers of like larger metaphorical ideas, right? You know, he always kind of had that aspect to his characters, but you know, I think that recently he's kind of some of that kind of stuff has like gone to his head. A lot of this stuff he used to do, like if you played like the 20 years of his crazy games like this, and all of his games are this crazy. Like, in fact, I would say Metal Gear Solid 5 is like one of like the least crazy games that he's made. Like he's made a game where like it's a vampire game where you literally have to be in the sunlight to kill the vampire. There's a UV sensor on the game.
With like an actual sunlight?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
That means if you're not outside, you can't win the game.
Oh.
And if you're if you live in a place where there's not enough sun, you can't play the game.
Oh, that's crazy.
So like if you live in like, you know, Alaska, like you're screwed. So, and it's kind of like, you know, so he's done this like really crazy stuff in the past, and a lot of his games have like super weird design flourishes like that. And so, but the point though is that he's been doing like really crazy stuff like this for a really long time. And one of the things I've noticed in his work is that his work has always been really crazy, and specifically his narrative design is very connected with his world design, which I really like. Like the all the stuff we were explaining about like the metaphysics and the babies and the like life and death and all that stuff. That's also like deeply figured out in the like mechanics.
Yeah.
Which is almost like a Souls game.
Yeah.
Like which is really interesting. And then I think over time though that his obsession with performance capture with actors has kind of, in my opinion, made his characters actually a bit less colorful and less like people and more just like concepts. Yeah. Weirdly, because like the more his characters are based on real actors, the less real they feel to me.
Well, that's like I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to know yet, but I have no idea what Matt's name is in this. I just call him that. And like your name's Sam in this game, but I say
his name is probably something like Sadness.
Yeah, but I call it's Norman Reedus. It's Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus
is magical fetus.
Yeah, Norman Reedus and his magical fetus. The second Kojima game involving Norman Reedus and a fetus, because PT had Norman Reedus and a fetus, and also had Guillermo del Toro.
Okay.
And so, but yeah, I don't know. He used to have characters that were designed by Yoji Shinkawa, who's essentially just like a manga artist, and who had this also. He also designed this, but I think that like, you know, his like if you look at the cast of like Snatcher or like Metal Gear Solid 1 or Metal Gear Solid 3, I think that or Peace Walker, like I think that there's a lot more going on with the actual characterization, and it feels much more kind of like anime manga characters in a kind of Tom Clancy story. Yeah. And I think that especially starting with MGS5, when he got really obsessed with just like performance capture and actors, you really lose a lot of that. Okay. And at least that's my experience of this, being like a longtime fan.
Because like I feel like one of my takes on like MGS5 and this is that I almost feel like the like level of detail to the realism is like something he's doing so that like you're grounded in that. You're grounded in like, oh yeah, like I can sit here and I like have like my health is measured in how many milliliters of blood I have. I can like pee and all that sort of stuff. And they're also grounded so he can go really weird with like the like story with like the ghost. And that's always been his MO. Okay.
And I think that like in MGS2, there's a vampire in the game. But there's also like an endless amount of research they did about like politics and like digital technology and like the way the like computer technology works in it. And there's like this endless conversation in it about like, you know, the robotics of artificial muscle in like walking robots and all this kind of stuff. So that like I think you're right though, that extreme groundedness like counterpointed with this like absolutely bonkers like off the rails kind of like metaphysics and like characters.
Because even not like the weird metaphysics of this like setting, there's also the like fact that like part of this post-apocalyptic setting is that like the bandits are these roving people who are obsessed with like the likes they get from delivering packages. But the thing is, and then like the rest of the game, like you want to get the likes, so I still can't figure out if it's pro or anti social media, or like what its actual stance is, because it's just like one place it's always just like look at them, they're addicted to it. But on the other hand, it's like, well, you're kind of also addicted to it, and like it's rewarding you for it. And
what is Kojima's stance on everything is kind of the eternal question, I think. Yeah, is there a way for me to like to deliver something? Do I have?
yeah,
some
so
packages?
go back to like
Okay.
the room we started in.
Oh, should I go? I haven't accepted it then.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
Okay.
this is like one of the few times that we don't have just a giant pile of stuff on our back.
Okay.
That's the real fun of the game.
Yeah, so let's do that. So I'm just driving around while we talk. I literally cannot see the screen
Yeah,
now.
'cause
I literally
yeah.
cannot see anything.
Get off the.
Okay.
Oh, close. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to like deliver to a place already connected, or do you
Yeah, well, just whatever would allow us to deliver it quickest, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. You should probably like Yeah. So you go ahead and park on like the.
On the round circle thing.
Yeah.
On this hall. This is like my bat cave.
Yes. You're like all of like.
This is the fetus cave.
Yes. So that's the weird. Other weird thing in this game is that like, so you're like where you can go and get like
Okay.
orders and like store stuff. There's like minor ones, but all the major ones look exactly the same on the
Okay,
inside.
so I'm just gonna take this. Right? Order.
That's like
specific.
going to
That's
a
a
new
plot
place.
order.
Yeah, go.
Oh, I could try
we don't.
that.
I don't think we have a. Let's just do the plot order because I don't think we have any regular orders.
Yeah,
so
plot.
let's do some plot. You have to hold it. So that's another kind of annoying thing in this game is that
Oh
like.
wait, I can't. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, all of the like confirmations are like holding down a button, and so you just kind of want to like go.
Oh,
through
there we
process.
go.
Ah, yeah, there we go.
There we go. Well, maybe we should.
Now it's like.
Now it's like in front of the. No,
Okay.
there. That's fine. Actually,
Yes,
that's
this
great.
works. Yeah. Yeah. So like because there's so many buttons need to be used that like you have to hold to confirm over and over and over again, and it just kind of gets a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think we're like this will lose one package. So yeah, we won't even have the giant pile.
Order assigned.
Yeah, like every single one of these like they call like distribution centers look basically the same, and then like the private room you have in, that's like where we started, also looks exactly the same. And so there's this sense of just like sameness that is kind of it feels like an interesting thing that like since this is kind of all talking about how like Death Stranding is talking about how like technology and like modernity is like
So am I going?
making us
I'm going that way.
Yeah, so if you like hover over it,
I know, but you could. Wait, let me set a marker with
yeah.
my-
It's all about how modernity like is kind of like taking us apart, while also there's social media which is bringing us together. And so the fact that like all these places look exactly the same and you're connecting them is like,
It's a great excuse for the minimalist level.
well, yeah, it's there, that too, right? But also it's kind of I feel
It's like, hey, it's really
Yeah.
expensive to make everything unique.
Yeah.
Could we maybe come up with an excuse?
yeah,
It's a theme.
yeah. It just reminds me of like brutalist architecture where like cities just like all looking like these giant boxes, and then like oh yeah, like kind of
I
like
just need to go straight that way.
yeah, but you probably cannot.
I
get
can't
your-
because look, way too much terrain. Look at all
Yeah.
that. No.
Probably
Okay, is there a road that goes that way?
No, so this is like the end of the road.
Yeah, I
and
know.
you have to keep building out.
So this is a game.
Might just
So,
be
so,
so.
so this, what we're doing right now, this is really the game.
Yeah.
The game is like, I got to get over there. It's actually a very complex navigation problem to get over there.
And that's like a bridge someone started building, but then
Oh man, there is like no way to get over there.
I mean, we don't have that much stuff. We probably can just walk it.
I wonder if anyone's watching.
Fine,
Yeah.
let's go.
Because I don't think we can get over that.
Let me try. Let me see if I can
You're
jump.
gonna destroy this.
It's gonna be terrible.
This man's nice.
Oh,
Oh, it's gonna.
oh yes.
Okay. Oh, the battery's gonna run out.
Oh man.
Well, that's.
Oh, it is gonna run out.
Yeah. You can press X to jump.
Yeah, I know.
You can jump.
You can just do this,
motorcycles,
like-
Of course. Okay. I saw like a Reddit post that was like, here's how like real people play Death Stranding versus here how streamers play, and this is how streamers play, and that's why like a bunch of reviews at the beginning. They said like, this is why reviews at the beginning were bad because everyone was just like, I'm gonna go as fast as possible through this, and like therefore they're having a bad time. Like the ghost got them, because like
Well, yeah, but I feel like when the Souls games first came out, people were like, "This sucks. I run into every battle and die." It's like, well, don't run into every battle.
oh, do we even have any equipment? I think we have a ladder, so we can like climb up
Do you
there.
need a ladder?
I think we're gonna need a ladder
Only
to get up
chumps
that.
need ladders. Who needs a ladder? I don't need a ladder.
Also, I like that you can just like everything in this game.
Yeah, there's no real like downside to it.
Yeah,
there
like it's not like a resource.
Oh, God.
Oh, cool. So someone already has like a ladder put up.
Oh my God. So okay, so this is the first mechanic you encounter, which is like there's a mechanic for like shifting your weight.
Yeah.
So you don't like drop things.
And you like trip and like it hurts your cardio.
Did you drop the body of your dead mother?
Yes, I dropped her in a river and she almost went over a waterfall and I was like,
I
oh
can't
no.
see again. I
Mom.
can't see again. I can't see anything because there's.
Okay. Yeah, I dropped my mom and she almost fell over a waterfall and I was like,
Yeah. You're like, sorry, mom.
that's
Okay, grab.
my mom would not like that.
Well, she was dead, but she's the president. She's used to compromise. Your dead mom is the president, and you have to take her to an incinerator because if she blows up, then it'll blow up the city because dead people blow up.
Let dead people blow up. Yeah, so the thing is, I thought that I was just like a mechanic.
And there's a whole
right?
narrative
Yeah.
system like
Yeah.
built around that. Oh, here we go.
Okay, this is your baby realizing that there's like ghosts nearby.
Yeah.
So it's not going to tell you about
Ghost baby
it. And
activate.
this cutscene happens every single time. Every
Yeah.
single time.
Ghost baby go.
Yeah. So even when you're driving, it'll slow down for a second and be like, hey, there's ghosts nearby. And you're like, okay, I hope I don't swerve off and die.
Okay, so ghost baby.
Yeah.
Let's look.
So wherever it's pointing, that's where the ghost.
That's where the ghost
that's
is.
where the
Baby.
most nearby ghost is.
What's up, baby? Oh, he's upset because there's a baby. Because there's a ghost nearby. Uh-oh. Okay.
All right.
Ghost baby. Save me, ghost baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I thought that the like people exploding was just like that's a narrative thing. But like if you actually kill someone, I accidentally killed someone in this game.
No, but
they will
exactly
blow up.
all that stuff that you think is like just a narrative thing is all mechanics.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the thing I think that because Kojima's cutscenes are way too long, that's the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand. Are we done?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to wrap up.
Okay.
Next minute.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. And then like
So let's see if we can. Okay, we're gonna
it's
die.
probably-
Let's
yeah,
die.
yeah,
No, let's
we're
die. Let's
dying,
die.
yeah. The ghosts are getting us.
The ghosts are gonna get us. No. So this is what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. This is a perfect way to end too, because this happens so many times.
Okay, so this is the game. This
Yeah,
is
so-
trying to
yeah.
deliver my Amazon package over the mountain. It's really heavy, and then the squid from the other world comes.
Yeah.
Or no, this is
a different one.
This is
yeah.
a dog.
Yeah. And then like imagine we had gotten some packages and they all had like fallen off our body and they're all back from where we had died. Or taken over.
And
So,
now
yeah.
the baby is crying,
baby's crying. There's black liquid. Yeah, it's the whole thing.
and now I'm gonna die.
We've been stranded to death.
That's right. This is the Stranding, the Death Stranding. Okay,
All right, awesome.
so we can end it here. Anyway, that's it. That's
Closing thoughts, Death Stranding. Or no closing
Yeah,
thoughts.
yeah,
it's fine.
just- yeah.
Yeah.
all right. So no, yeah, it's super weird, super interesting. It's problematic in a lot of ways, but it's also like an interesting piece of art, and it's kind of like interesting to play to at least see what the conversation is about.
Yes.
So
I will keep playing as Amazon worker until I either give up or beat the game.
Okay, great.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Matt and Rowan. Let's move on to our next segment, where we are having news, the Discourse, with Naomi and Frank. Come on over. You have to swap everything out, though. Do you have the HDMI? Oh wait, plug it back in. Yeah.
Is this getting smoother or less smooth as time goes on? Let's switch over.
It's like getting less smooth.
Yeah, no,
I don't
this is
know
really-
what's
this is what
going
commercial
on.
breaks are for.
Check.
You guys gotta have a commercial break for the sponsor.
Oh my God, this is why there are commercial breaks in TV. Oh my God.
It's true.
Robert just realized the structure.
Oh my God, yeah, it's weird running a streaming show because we're like reverse engineering TV and being
Yeah.
like, oh, that's
Yeah.
why TV does that.
Well, it's not just the only reason, but it is it's overdetermined, as
It
they
is.
say
That's
in
right.
psychology. It's like there's multiple reasons why
Let's
things
cut to the game feed.
are the way they are.
becomes ever determined.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, today on the Discourse
Can
we
we
thought
hide
we'd
that
do
top
something a little bit different, and a lot of the news sites are overwhelmed this time of year with best of year lists of various kinds, or like looking forward to next year. And this was one that really caught my eye with a bunch of different writers all contributing to this 30 best video games of 2019 list.
Yeah.
And interestingly, this list does not include some like what you would consider obvious games to put on the best of 2019, like
Right.
the Untitled Goose Game or Death Stranding are not on this list, which I don't care about because like I don't need these lists to be correct.
Yeah.
right? Like,
I think it's one of the good things about this particular list is that it is kind of willfully kind of arbitrary or personal, and again, and it's like that's fine.
it's a bunch of writers all being like, "This is the game that I want to root for," and nobody really, those two games don't really need anybody to root for them. They're doing fine.
And it's also I think both directions are fine. I think it's fine to try to do an authentic expression of what you believe the kind of general consensus is.
Right.
I think that's a fool's errand, but I think it's fine to go on fool's errands, and it's not a big problem. So I think the people who do try to do this kind of authoritative consensus, I think that's a legitimate approach.
It makes it possible for this other type of list to exist.
And I think this list is perfectly understandable. You look at it and you get it right away, and in the intro, they're talking about how it reflects the particular tastes of the people who did it, and so I think
so
this
let's
is
through
nice.
these and see what we think.
But I like this list, and I thought it would be a good chance for us to talk about games that we do and don't like.
Because some of them I have played, some of them I have not, or I've watched other people play.
So let's start with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
I haven't played
go back
it.
up to Mortal Kombat.
I have no opinion about it.
I've watched people play this. I watched Sonic Fox play this a fair amount.
Okay, yeah.
This is the Sonic Fox got banned from Twitter, I think, for an altercation. Well, or like an argument where, because he was playing this game, and I think his character like knocked out Sonya Blade, who's voiced by Ronda Rousey, the actual
MMA, artist,
athlete. Yeah.
Sonic Fox, the great queer furry hero.
Queer furry hero. So
that we need and love.
Sonic Fox and Ronda Rousey came to, there's a conflict because Ronda Rousey's acquired a reputation as being a TERF. A transphobic person, and so Sonic Fox was basically like,
I'm going to show Ronda Rousey.
Like knocked out and was like, die, TERF, and then got banned from Twitter for it.
Yeah. Now that's the discourse.
That's really
how we decide things in this country. When professional wrestlers and queer furries
streamers
get cancel each other on Twitter.
I'm going to take a representation of you in this video
game
down and insult you. So
the world is so much funnier and more interesting than science fiction.
Yeah, nor than it used to be in some ways.
And and yet we're still just bored by it. It's like, more of this.
Yeah,
the world is amazing. That's awesome. So.
That's most of what I know about Mortal Kombat 11.
I mean, let's go. Next one.
Yeah.
Let's just go. Dear Reader, oh, look at this.
Yeah, homegrown. A lot of people from the Game Center worked on this game.
Yep, a great, interesting language puzzle game that's built out of public domain literature.
Right. It's going to keep on going, I guess.
Yep.
It's an Apple Arcade game. You have to subscribe to get access to this game. So it's
it's one
there's a few of those on this list.
Yeah, one of the Apple Arcade games. Really interesting, different kind of take on writing in games and literature in games.
Right.
These are actual kind of famous books, and you're carving them up and moving them around.
And they have some commentary on each of the books that you read too. That actually got some angry tweets from people accusing them of being social justice warriors.
Who don't like commentary?
Yeah,
people who are anti-commentary.
How dare you put the kind of thing that an English teacher would say about Pride and Prejudice at the end, and say that like. Or I don't remember what book it was, but they were like, oh, this book has some like sexist attitudes characteristic of early 20th century writing, and somebody got really mad at them for mentioning that in the context of a video game.
I'm pro commentary. Well, wait a minute, which ones were just commentary and then there's dissent? And then I think they got together. There was Dysentery, I believe, was a journal of.
Dysentery came
from. So, but I'm in favor of all those things. So
let's keep rolling.
Seems fine. Yeah.
The Outer Worlds. This I played all of this game. It's terrible. Don't play it.
Yeah. Here's my take on Outer Worlds.
Bad.
It's fine. I'm sure that it's perfectly fine. It just has zero appeal to me. I was like, right out of the gate. There's a game called The Outer Wilds that is
later on this
fairly.
list.
Yeah, exactly. It's an indie game. It was made by some students or some ex-students from USC. It won a lot of awards. I'm not a fan of it, but it's a well-known game. You should not call your game The Outer Worlds.
Right.
Like in a world, it's weirdly disrespectful. Also, it's not such a great name that we can't possibly let go of this
I'm sure
wonderful.
They felt like they were in production first or some blah blah blah.
Just find a different. We all do this. We come up with an idea for a
name, and then we look at, oh, there's another prominent game that's called something very much like this.
Well, look,
It's just
I
weird.
played
Don't
this
do
game
it.
because I'm a huge fan of Fallout New Vegas. I
Yeah.
admit it. And this is like Obsidian.
It's supposed to be like,
It's supposed to be like that.
Fallout.
And it's like a 10-year-olds dressing up as Fallout New Vegas and being like, look, I can do it too.
I'm going to say...
It's really... There's some great writing in this game. A lot of the character writing is excellent. So the individual writers and narrative designers in this game did a good job. But in the service to a completely soulless vision that nobody should have been forced to waste time on making or playing.
Okay.
This game should not exist.
Here's my take. Just looking at it, because I haven't played it all the way through like you, but it doesn't stop me from having an opinion.
Yeah.
This is a look that I think we're past now, right? This kind of day-glow, post-apocalyptic wasteland. It's very Borderlands. It's very kind of Rage. It's the kind of psychedelic punk rock post-apocalyptic. I just think it's boring looking now. It's very tired and played out. So thumbs down on the Outer Worlds.
Okay, let's
5 stars.
keep going. Star Wars Jedi. This is a surprisingly popular game that I just came out recently. I don't know anything about it.
I've watched a bunch of it. Apparently, it is a bit like Dark Souls. It's kind of a Star Wars meets Dark Souls. It's lots and lots of trying to beat, a giant frog over and over again, and you're like, oh, I got to learn when to roll and when to use the force roll, and when to block and when to use force block, and then you just watch a guy try to beat this giant frog like 18 times in a row. It just makes me tired. I mean, I watch it.
It seems like what being a Jedi is actually like, though. Of all the video game visions of being a Jedi, this thing where you have to do something boring over and over again until you get it exactly right, because you're just wielding a lightsaber and all these other people have guns. It's that.
Being a Jedi, it just means nothing. It's like the Beatles or something. Star Wars is so long in the tooth. Can't we just let it go? It's just not. It's not a.
Just hear they had a comeback with the Baby Yoda.
Yeah, no, I'm pro Baby Yoda. I'm fine with Baby Yoda. If Baby Yoda has his I think Baby Yoda should have a talk show. Like that's a thing that I would watch. But I don't think so.
All right, let's keep moving.
That's the next one.
Neocab. I've never heard of this.
It's a trenchant critique of the gig economy. I bet you weren't expecting another one of those, but that's what this is. It's fine. I believe it's. I believe it's also like. Is this a mobile game? Help me out. Neocab. Is this a game? Is this also part of the? It's also Apple Arcade.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's an Apple Arcade game. I tried to play it with a 13-year-old a daughter of a friend of ours. We were sitting down and playing a bunch of Apple Arcade games.
It's a conversation game?
It's like a driving game where the gig economy is bad.
Okay.
I don't know. Seems fine.
Yeah, is it better than Wheels of Aurelia?
Didn't play that, but it's not as good looking as Wheels of Aurelia. Okay, this next game, I'm going to say thumbs up on Mutazione. It's one of my favorite games in the Apple Arcade.
Yeah, this game really has such a soul to it.
Yeah, it really is.
In the writing and the world and all this sort of botanical gameplay, which it has this real weird 19th century naturalist vibe to it, but outside of that context, with characters that you sort of care about. I don't know. I just recommend this game highly.
It's very of its moment.
Right.
Right.
Will we see this kind of game again?
Well, maybe not. Maybe not, because it's very stylish in a way that is incredibly this kind of cute, melancholy, the graphics and the overall style, but really good music.
Right.
The
team at Die Gute Fabrik has been working on this for years, really long time.
And it's kind of the quintessential Apple Arcade game in that respect.
Yes.
Because a lot of Apple Arcade games are these games that have been lingering in studios where they didn't have the right context to finish them off and bring them out. And now we have
Apple
this.
Was like, here, we're going to give you a bunch of money, and then we're going to take your game. So another good reason for trying Apple Arcade with a free demo.
Yep. We like it. 5 mushrooms up. Okay.
Right. 2019 sure is a year. Grindstone, another Apple Arcade game.
It seems fine.
This
Cappy game, right?
Cappy. It would be a free-to-play game, right? If it was not on Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
But it is, and so now you get to play a free-to-play game with an unlimited amount of resources.
Yeah, it's like an Euler graph game. It's another game where you're
Right,
trying
yeah,
to like
yeah.
it's the Witness or Fidel where you're trying to trace out these lines, and it seems fine.
It's more of a match 3 than a puzzle game in the
Yeah,
limited sense.
it's also again like a lot of Apple Arcade games, like stylish in a way that feels very of the moment. Card of Darkness has a very similar look. That's
Right.
Pendleton Ward designed.
Cartoony,
Yeah, that's kind of like a goofy Adventure Time cartoony
where it's
style.
like, oh, a kid could download this, but it's
really
thoughtful
for-
enough for an adult.
Yeah, it's like let's put all of culture in a blender and see what we got. Next.
Tetris 99, I got like just brutalized when I tried to play this game.
Yeah, I didn't try to play it. I haven't played any of the new Tetrises, the Tetri.
If you can't tell, you're playing Tetris against a whole bunch of other people, most of whom are better than you at Tetris.
Sure.
And when they score lines, then you get junk on your
Yeah,
screen.
it's the battle royale mechanic,
Yeah.
which I just think. I mean, I love that the battle royale mechanics is just a slightly different way of framing a game experience, right? And I actually think
and you don't need to have an island.
it's actually a really interesting domain of game design.
Right.
Are ladders, tournaments, metagames. There is a lot of space there to innovate. That is what .io is a lot about. That's what Battlegrounds as a motif is about. And
The Shrinking Circle. Remember Ninja?
the
The one
streamer.
where you slap the,
Oh, no.
That's also a Shrinking Circle game.
Oh.
Where you hit somebody's hand.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. This kind of elimination style structure.
Right.
It's interesting. I didn't play Tetris Effect. I didn't play this, but I'm sure it's just fine.
Yeah, it's
Next,
more Tetris.
5 Tetrises up.
Type Dreams. This is a very difficult
Gorgeous.
typing game.
So this is a game by the person who did Cart Life,
Yep.
Richard Hoffmeyer.
His first game since then.
It is gorgeous, as you can see. This is a game that I think is great looking in a way that isn't just reflective of a kind of contemporary generic
It's
look.
very idiosyncratic.
Very idiosyncratic. I found this game almost unplayable. I was excited to download it. It's a stylish typing game with all kinds of weird, interesting narrative framing, but it is just almost impenetrable. It seems willfully obtuse, and I didn't enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
Sorry,
well,
Richard.
And it doesn't really feel like it wants to be enjoyed.
Nope.
Right? But that's true of Cart Life as well.
Yeah, but I think Cart Life is much more playable. I felt this one was almost just an utter mess. So 5 typings up.
Yoshi's Crafted World. I didn't play this one. I don't know much about it. It looks very cute and charming.
It's so much tilt shift. I'm about to lose my lunch. Yoshi.
Yeah, the Nintendo is really loving the tilt shift.
I'm going to say, here's my capsule review of this. Yoshi's Crappy World. Next.
Oh, no.
I'm just seeing it for the first time, people.
Stream
Give me a
disagrees
break.
with you. This
right?
is very, the chat, unfortunately, Manifold Garden is not in this list. The chat has mentioned Manifold Garden.
That is a game, chat. Congratulations. Yes.
It's a game.
You've named a game that's not on this list.
Astrologaster. I played a bit of this. This is a funny game that's about being a Elizabethan occultist advising people on their maladies with astrology, and that's basically all you can say about it. It's kind of visually stylish. It has a pop-up book look. The writing is kind of funny in a way that would appeal to people who would watch a comedy film set in Shakespeare's time.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Does it have tarot cards?
I don't think so. No.
Thumbs up. In
Yeah.
that case, I give it a positive
I think it's all
review.
about astrology and
Good.
tonics with a K.
Oh.
And remedies spelled in an old-timey way.
I've been known to have a tonic or a remedy once and again. So yeah, let's say thumbs
Yeah,
up
it's
on this
about being
one.
a scam artist. That's the sort of like
okay.
the funny, yeah.
Yeah, looks good.
Gato Robota, this is the sort of like a miniature Metroidvania. Did you play this?
No, it's not my style again. Look, I'm an old person.
But this is like a retro graphics. Does
Right,
that mean you would
but
like it?
no, because this is just a hard platforming action game. It looks like Downwell. I assume it plays a bit like Downwell, or I don't know. It just looks like an action platformer that I would not be good at. It's fine. I've heard it's good.
Yeah.
Is it a Metroidvania? Is that what you said? Yeah.
Look,
it says Metroidvania. Scroll up a little bit. Look.
It's a few hours long.
Up a little bit? Yeah.
Metroid
Metroid
style
style. Yeah,
game.
there you go. You can tell just by looking at a thing what it is. This is the secret of culture. You just look at things and you know.
Well, Zach Gage would argue that that's a specific design, that you do it so you design a screen so that when people look at it, they can know.
It's part of it's actually legitimately part of game design to understand where you are in
visual intelligibility from a glance.
Sure. You're communicating a ton with your thing.
Yeah,
with
you
your
are
style,
a robot cat in this, so
seems good.
That appeals to me. Okay, keep going. Super Mario Maker 2. It's refined. It's gotten more like an editor. And they're doing more teaching and deconstructing of Mario level design in this.
Yeah.
So it's a natural move for this. I think it sort of like doubles down on the audience that is interested in Mario Maker.
Yeah. So my hot take on this is you should follow Kirby Kid, who is like a super interesting person who teaches and educates about level design and game design. In an interesting way, design oriented. I think he spends a lot of time on Mario Maker, using Mario Maker as a way to teach. So Richard Terrell, really smart, interesting young designer.
Yeah, I will say that if it was easy for everybody at the Game Center to have switches, then we would probably do a lot of our level design teaching in Mario.
We'd rather bait than switch. That's our motto.
Why did I laugh at that?
I don't know, because it sounded like a joke.
Guess so. Sunless Skies.
Is this embroiled in conflict? Isn't this part of one of the games that is like darkly connected to some kinds of abusive labor practice or something?
This is made by the same company that made Fallen London and Sunless Seas, but was mostly developed and then released after they had parted ways with their problematic founder, Kennedy.
Good.
Who went off to do Cultist Simulator and other games instead.
Yeah.
So Sunless Skies, I think, interestingly, it has a lot of the spirit of Sunless Seas, but you can detect the missing note of Alexis Kennedy's writing. Which
makes it better or worse?
Better in some ways.
And worse in some ways.
I will say worse in some ways.
It's complicated.
It is. I mean, I personally felt very betrayed and upset by Alexis Kennedy's behavior. He used to be a friend of mine. He does have a certain, I would say, like dark and somewhat nihilistic, self-abnegating tone in his writing, which is maybe not unconnected to problems he's had with people.
Yeah.
But I'd say there's something disturbing and compelling about that, and it's kind of, this is like the game without that. It's actually a little bit
blander,
brighter in tone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say blander. It still has they still have Emily Short doing a lot of writing for this game, and Meg Giants contributing to it, a lot of really interesting contributors. So it's super redolent with lots of flavors.
Yeah, and this is your kind of game too, right? I mean, it's kind of
grindy.
grindy.
I played all of this game.
A little bit grindy.
It's less grindy. I mean, I think that's also I prefer it when they're really doubling down on the thing that they're good at, and they tried to make this more accessible. It's a little more fanciable. You're not on a ship. You're on a locomotive going through outer space, basically. So it's like. Okay.
Good.
Yep.
All right. 5
Keep going.
arts up. 5 problematic arts up.
Falcon Age, I did not play
Nothing.
very
Got
much
nothing
of this.
for you. Don't know it.
This is
Great name for a soap opera.
Yeah.
Falcon Age. What is it?
Well, it's better. It's more down to earth than Dragon Age.
Yeah, it is.
It's a VR Falconing game.
Yeah, it's a VR Falcon.
Oh, okay, cool.
In concept, it sounded very good. I've read a lot of critiques of this game saying they weren't really able to realize fully the vision that's kind of present here. But the themes, the characters, the relationship with the Falcon, it all sounds really good in premise.
Does seem like VR would be a good place to make a Falcon game. So
yeah, sure.
I'm going to say 5
there's interesting
sparrows up
ecology and stuff here.
on this. You
Keep
feed your
going.
Falcon sparrows.
Sekiro, that was
yes.
Yeah, so
sure, it's good. It's not my kind of game.
If it had come out in any other year,
fine.
everybody would have been like, "This is the game of the year." But there's too many good games this year.
He's getting ready to slice that guy's neck. That's a neck slicer. Let's keep going. Hypnospace Outlaw, fine.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have the patience to play this. I'm sorry. Have you played it? Don't get mad at me, chat. I can't play every game.
Look,
but I can look at them and have an opinion. Isn't that enough?
So Hypnospace Outlaw, it's the culmination of a certain aesthetic in games that's kind of all the detritus of the internet bubbling up to the surface. It's maybe the most accessible game of that type, which is a little bit unfortunate for people who have been pioneering in this area.
People like
Natalie Lawhead.
Natalie Lawhead.
Right?
Thank
so
you.
Natalie Lawhead's games are kind of the predecessor to Hypnospace Outlaw.
Yeah.
And yet now when Natalie Lawhead goes to show her games at a festival, people come up to her and say things like, "You're ripping off Hypnospace Outlaw."
Yes.
Right?
Luckily, Natalie is very patient and tolerant of people who rip her work off, so that shouldn't be a problem. But really, you should just go play Natalie Lawhead's work, which I think is probably just
Yeah,
better.
and then also play this game if you like just pawing through enormous amounts of 90s internet to try this.
Seems good.
I was here when we had to do this for real, so I never want to do it again.
5 Natalie Lawheads up. Okay, let's go.
Judgment.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this.
This is
this not a screenshot from Shenmue 2?
No, it's
not.
It
looks like Shenmue 2.
This is the Yakuza team.
This is the new Yakuza team.
No, yeah, but they have diverged. This is another spin-off, which is more of a noir mystery than a gangster game.
Yeah.
But it has the same sort of like overly like lavish attention to detail, where it's like all like you can pick up all these magazines and read them.
Ooh, that does sound good.
You can walk around this neighborhood, which is based off of like Shinjuku in Tokyo, and just go eat at like dozens of different restaurants.
Yeah.
You can just play like little, pachinko machines, whatever, and it's just like all overly lavish with detail, but with a strange, slightly surreal sense of humor. So they're one of my favorite game development teams.
That looks great, and I support this. There's a little micro scene on YouTube of people using very, very high res cameras to just walk around Tokyo and not say anything, which is so good. Like if you check these out, there's walking through neighborhoods for 45 minutes or an hour with a camera that's sort of like one of these super high-res drone gimbal cameras, but just like tucked into their shirt or held on a and so people don't react to it like it's a camera, and it's gorgeous. It's a wonderful, weird scene that I think is, in some ways, there's an aesthetic that is captured by this simulation.
Right, very detailed simulation.
Yeah, that I just am in favor of. So.
But yeah, I mean, if you like big-budget console games, I would like.
Good.
This is my top set of picks.
5 magazines up.
Okay. Ape Out,
Ape
also
Out.
A Game Center game. Congratulations, guys.
Fantastic game. This is a game about improvisation. It's an action game that uses procedural level generation to really encourage a kind of spontaneous, reactive, improvisational play. And it's deeply musical. I think it's maybe the most musical game that I've ever played. So, like Thumper or even DDR, it's a game that's all about the music. But in this case, the music
is... All the music is improvised
it's
on
like,
the spot. It's not using pre-recorded stems.
Yeah,
so that's like the really interesting
thing. Matt Bach did this amazing kind of AI-based generative system that is creating a jazz drumming soundtrack as you play. And it's just a brilliant game. So...
Right.
5
we got 11
5
more
bananas
to look
up.
At and,
let's burn them through.
Shenmue
3,
also,
of course, got to play this.
Yes.
5 drawers up that you pull out and look into.
Yeah, please go talk to every single neighbor, find out what's going on in their lives. This is it's a self-justifying project.
It certainly is. Next, self-recommending, as we say. Thank you, by the way, to the person who is managing this process. Is that you, Robert? Are you going? Who's going through the tabs? Is that?
Oh, it's me.
Is that you? Thanks, Robert. Big thumbs up to Robert. Pathologic 2.
This is one that I'm saving for a quiet moment.
Yeah.
I hear wonderful things about this game, by which I mean horrible things. It's like a horrible, soul-destroying game.
If you like Pathologic, this is more of it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Next.
Heaven's Vault.
Yeah, this one has mixed reviews. I've heard people say it's amazing, and then other people, struggled with it. I kind of want to go back and play it. I have not played it, but it's a game about interpreting language and linguistics, and I kind of just wish it didn't have so much walking around. You know what I mean? I think that we're at a place in video game development where sometimes the core ideas are at tension with each other, and in this case, I wonder if that's happening here.
I find a lot of the concepts at play in this game really interesting, and the details failed to really draw me in, and I became fatigued with going through the discussions and characters and exploring spaces.
Yeah.
There was something that didn't quite grab the surface of my brain.
Yep.
But I plan on returning to it at some point.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. 5 vaults
What the
up.
Golf?
What the Golf? It's fine.
It's fine.
It's a charming little
It's another Apple Arcade game.
entertaining game.
Yeah.
Next.
I played a bunch of that.
Yeah, it seems great. 5 golfs
Fire
up.
Emblem Three Houses. Oh, wow.
Who's got time for this?
If
I'm an old
If I
school.
had a year to live on an island, I would play all this game.
I think this is probably fine. It's more Fire Emblem. I love the old-fashioned aesthetic of 2D Fire Emblem. Maybe that just makes me a boomer. But I love
This has top-down views of Battlefield that basically look like a PlayStation 1.
Yeah, but...
And that's fine, right? It's like, it is 3D, it's not 2D, like an old handheld.
Yeah.
But all of that stuff is kind of intact, and the the stuff they've added on top here is a lot of social interactions in the context of a boarding school, where you are a teacher who somehow is the same age as the students.
Yeah. This is clearly good, but not for me. So.
Yeah. I don't know if I had a ton of time to just think. I started playing this game, and let me explain what happened.
Yeah.
I have played the first battle in this game 65 times, and not gotten any further.
That's what it takes.
Yeah.
Let that be a lesson to you. Next, 5 emblems up.
Disco Elysium.
Okay, finally.
This is both of our favorite games of
this
year.
is definitely game of the year.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
for sure.
we agree about this being the best
This
game.
is a remarkable game coming out of like left field, unexpected. Didn't know that there was any work being done in this kind of area.
Estonian
It really feels
indie game scene.
yes, sui generic and in a wonderful way, idiosyncratic and weird. It's as if Baldur's Gate were written by China Mieville. It is as if Planescape Torment was the first step in a long evolution of the computer RPG into a form of literature. It's weird and cool, and it looks great. This screenshot is not great, but the game looks like it was designed by the Persona
it's all
interface team.
Yeah, like painterly brush
stylish things coming in and out. It's well written.
It's very political.
It's incredibly complex and interesting. It's a masterpiece.
I think if you have any interest in writing or narrative in games, you now basically have to play this game. It's the new high water mark for writing in games.
Yep.
I guess we're pretty much out of time. We've used up.
Quick, let's do the last 5 ones real quick.
Telling Lies, Sam Barlow, great game.
Amazing, great, maybe a slight disappointment. Next.
Right,
let's be honest. To him and to us and to everyone.
Not as lovely and sparse as
quite
her
work
story.
as well, even though it's better in production values.
Bob Is You.
Another great masterpiece.
Brilliant idea, very difficult.
It's it kind of bogs down in the middle, but it's an amazing, brilliant puzzle game. Next.
I don't know anything about Plague Tale.
Next.
Sorry.
Outer Wilds.
Ooh, this would be my top game if not for Disco Elysium.
There you go. Takes all kinds.
It's
That's
a
why
puzzle
God
box.
made horse races. Next.
Control.
Oh, I like. Okay. I
Robert
wanted
Yang
to like
doesn't
this
like
game.
Control.
Yeah, no, I'm with Robert Yang on this. I wanted to love this game. The look is great. The brutalist aesthetics.
Sure.
AAA
That's what
meets
everyone
this
talks
kind of
about.
sophisticated.
And
then
Robert
you look
Yang
at
normally loves brutalism.
and you look at the game. You look at a video of it, and it's shooting, boo 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 boo, and then flying through the space and shooting, do 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 do, and it's just like, wait a minute, what? That's what I'm doing in this space?
There's like this transhumanist story.
No, of course, the story is what seems like it might be good. The story, which was ripped off of the great literary source, which is SCP Wiki. So if you don't know SCP Wiki, you just go to SCP Wiki, and in particular, you should read the anti-memetics division arc of SCP Wiki. That is secretly the greatest science fiction on the internet. Go to the anti-memetics division arc and read those stories, because they're brilliant. And then look at the picture of Control, and maybe that's the best way to enjoy Control.
Yeah,
It's the
watch
way it
some
looks.
videos with the sound off so you
Yeah.
don't have to hear the bullets. Okay, that's
All right.
that's it. We're
That's
we're
it for
outta
us.
here. We used up
We
our
used
time.
the whole time.
There's no news.
No news, just opinions.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Like the actual media.
Yeah, so don't.
Yeah.
Especially don't take us seriously when we're like, we don't know
Yeah.
what this game is. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yep.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye everybody.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Moving on to our last segment. Moving on to our last segment. Joining us is Game Center MFA and current adjunct instructor Jack Schlesinger.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. Schlesinger. You're getting further.
I'm sorry.
That's not a problem.
I'm tongue-tied and now tired. Okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your background to the chat, and I'll get Dwarf Fortress.
Sounds good. I moved to New York 4
Oh,
years
you need to put a
ago.
mic on, by the way.
Is my facial expressions enough to sell my history? Probably not. I came to New York like 4 years ago to do musical theater writing, and I ended up here at the Game Center. I think everyone kind of anticipated me as being a very narrative-focused game maker, but I kind of took my history from before that in programming, and now I do a lot of programming-focused stuff. Are we going to see the intro? Maybe not. So I make games, I make
Okay.
music, I do sound design. And we have Dwarf Fortress.
And we have Dwarf Fortress. Let's change over.
Okay. Dwarf Fortress is the kind of game where you could, if you play it for more than like 5 hours, you end up playing it for like hundreds and hundreds of hours, basically. If you get past the graphics and if you get really interested in these deep simulations, I couldn't tell you how long I've played Dwarf Fortress over the last decade.
You don't even want to try? Like, okay, let me guess.
Okay, it's
50 hours.
No, not
20
even close.
hours.
Let's say if every fortress I played each fortress I made for between 20 and 100 hours, and I probably made like 2 or 3 fortresses a year for a decade. Maybe 3,000 hours max.
That's like 10 Death Strandings.
Yeah,
that's
like
a
10
lot.
Death Strandings.
So you're like an expert on this.
No, I'm not even an expert on
You've
this.
played 3,000 hours of this.
Over a decade.
You could have learned a language in that time.
Yeah, but I mean, who needs to communicate with other people when you can make tiny dwarves generate traps to make a dragon that can light a fire that can burn down forests?
Well, okay, get us started on Dwarf Fortress. How do we, or should I do this, or how do you want to go about this?
Well, the first thing that we have to do is like make a world, basically.
Okay.
This is like by Tarn Adams, and I think his brother also did a lot of work on this game. It is this deeply procedural game, like extremely procedural game. So this is still an alpha. I think they've been making it for like 15 years. And it's still an alpha. Kitfox they cut a deal with Kitfox. So before you can play the game, you have to make a world for your game to happen in. So we're gonna make a pocket world, which is the smallest world. We're gonna have a very short history. So like all the civilizations that are created, all the
Wait, why very short history? I want like does it take a long time?
Because it actually makes the history. It like plays out a simulation in time. So it'll take as long as it takes to like simulate every year of the history.
Now I know why you had to spend 3,000 hours playing this, because 2,000 of that is watching
it's just
the
like
simulation setup, right?
and watching your dwarves run around and all these other kinds of things.
Okay, so we'll do very short. That sounds fine.
We'll do the shortest possible options. Did I click away?
Oh, is this mousy? No. Okay, no. Okay.
I think you can mouse a little bit, but we'll make medium number of sites. We'll have a medium number of beasts, medium savagery. And then we'll have minerals everywhere because that'll make it more likely that we're going to find something.
Okay.
So here's our world. It only ran for 5 years. There's 90 historical figures. 2 of them have already died.
Wait, that's the entire world?
We made a pocket world.
Pocket world.
Yeah, we made as tiny a world as possible, which means, so there's multiple modes. There's Legends mode where you can just like look into the history of
Wait,
the
we
world.
weren't even playing the game? We were just generating a world?
Yes, we were making a world to explore.
Okay.
So now we can even look at the historical figures that we've made. So like here's a forgotten beast named Gongith. There's only one of its kind.
Okay.
It has a great eyeglass sparkling beetle. That's what it is. Oh, it's an eyeless darkling beetle. It has 4 long spiral horns and it undulates rhythmically. Its maroon exoskeleton is warty. Beware its poisonous gas. It's associated with water, torture, and caverns. Well, that checks out. For like eyeless darkling beetle, yeah, I can see it being and so it's somewhere underneath this world. And this isn't just like fluff. This is a character living in that world that.
Wait, did it like simulate like evolution or something? Like, did that creature like?
The Forgotten Beasts are more just like an assemblage of like crazy features than like being evolution. But like, if we look at, all right, we have a male shadow man named Ozran.
I'm into shadow man. You know, that's all I'm about.
Yeah. He's the only one of his kind. That's actually very sad.
Whoa, that's intense.
It's a large eyeless humanoid.
He doesn't have eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, because he's a shadow man?
He's a like, so maybe some kind of like a cavern creature.
Okay.
Now you will know why you fear the night. So clearly this is like some dark figure. Has long curly tails and moves with uneven jerking motions. That sounds scary. And then he has like a list of his enemies and where he is. He has a lair that we could go explore. So all of these creatures are somewhere in this game.
Let me just reiterate to the chat. I don't know what dwarf. I kind of know what Dwarf Fortress is, but I've like read about it, but I've never actually like tried to play it. Like I'm sure many people. So if you have questions in the chat about what the heck is going on,
yes, please speak up.
Let us know, and I'm happy to relay those questions to be like, what the heck is that?
Why are we even?
Is that a letter K? It's the blue letter K?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
So now there's like 2 game modes. There's adventure mode, which is kind of like NetHack or like a roguelike, and Dwarf Fortress, which is fortress mode, which is the way that people usually play this game. So it's loading in the world. And now we are basically looking at the planet that we've made. This thing on the far left is the local view. That's like where our site is going to be. So like if we make a 4x4 site, it'll look like that. And then there's a region, and then our world is about the size of a region because we made a really small one. But this actually seems like a good place to start. It's got a river, which is really important. It has, it's heavily forested, so we can get wood as vegetation. Its brook is called Sparkle Fragments, which is adorable. Like, why wouldn't we want to start a city at Sparkle Fragments? But we could also like move around and see like all these other like civilizations. So this is like already like a built city somewhere.
Wait, in the chat, Unknown Abyss is saying this is going to be very difficult because there's an aquifer?
Yes.
Why is that bad? Aquifers are good. That's where bottled water comes from.
If you want to get through, so basically, we'll see when we get into the game, there's Z levels that go all the way down, and you're digging down into the earth. And so if there's a layer of water, you have to like drop stone, you have to like make a tunnel through water to get at everything that's below.
Oh, so we won't be able to build it out because it'll flood. Our fortress will flood with all the water.
Which Dwarf Fortress has this like really amazing community around it. That one of the like slogans is like that you want to have fun with a capital F, which is usually your dwarves lighting themselves on fire accidentally with lava, or a vampire biting one of your dwarves and suddenly all your dwarves are vampires, or...
Okay, so it's also like playing to lose,
yes,
right? As they say in Nordic LARP.
Yes.
Losing is fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So we should do this because that means all our dwarves will die in horrible ways and like get swept away by floods.
Oh yeah, that is definitely 100% what Dwarf Fortress is about. It's about your dwarves dying in horrible ways and getting swept away in floods.
Okay, so let's do this terrible place. Let's live here.
So now we can like adjust like which part of this local map we want to be on. We can get an area with like a little bit of this forest here, a little bit of a mountain there. It's wilderness. Looks good to me. And we got back to the brook Sparkle Fragments, which is...
what are Sparkle Fragments?
That's the name of this brook. Like every river has a name. It's a world. It's like the...
Who named it Sparkle Fragments? That doesn't even make sense.
It's procedurally generated.
These dwarves deserve to die. That's not...
Okay, well,
what kind of name is that?
That is a fascinating take on morality. So now...
You named something Sparkle... Okay, you have selected.
It even warns us that we are about...
Wait, even the game is literally like, whoa, don't do this?
Yeah. They're like, this is gonna be tough. Now, we probably won't even get to the point in the next 17 minutes where we're trying to dig through the aquifer, but it is a good thing to know if you watch this 30 minutes and you're like, I really want to play Dwarf Fortress, which I think you should. It's an important part of games history.
Okay, so what should we do? What do you think we should do for these 20 minutes?
We should see if we can create a little colony. See if we can make a little place for them to live. So we're gonna just choose to play now, but you can prepare for the journey carefully by each dwarf has different things that you can spec out, like how good they are at different skills, which include all types of things, including like what let's look at the preparations that we could do.
Wait, what?
So this on the right is a list of all the different things you can be skilled in. You can be skilled in mining, wood cutting, carpentry, masonry, but then if you look down, there's stuff like bookbinding and being a fisherman and a cook and a trapper. And so you start with 7 dwarves, and you're kind of like this god figure that is telling them what you want to have happen.
Right.
And then they do it to the best of their ability.
I can be an animal dissector?
Yeah.
Why would...
Turn Adams decided that he wanted a deep.
Oh, a soaper.
He wanted to simulate the entire world. Like, there isn't room for graphics in this game because he wanted every single possible thing to be simulated.
Wow, okay.
You can make glass. Well, you have to go find sand, collect it in bags. Then you have to create furnaces, and you have to have furnace operators.
Oh, wait, we can train poets?
Yeah, you can make taverns that will attract poets and musicians and storytellers. And they'll
critical
write books.
thinkers?
Yeah, well, being better at critical thinking makes you, like, a better trader. You can, like, strike better deals. It makes you better at, like, figuring out all kinds of things.
Wait, so most other video games have like 20 skills, right?
Right.
And this has like 100?
Yes, yeah. And what's great about this game is as the game goes on, more and more dwarves migrate to your fortress, the better that you're doing, and suddenly you have like 100 or 200 dwarves that you're trying to kind of like give them each their own little role. They create relationships with each other. It's like super fascinating.
Okay, let's train some poets.
Yeah,
How do we increase the poet
we
skills?
Now have a proficient poets.
Okay, good.
And let's make them all proficient poets and proficient speakers.
Okay.
I think just 7 speaking poets.
Oh wait, there's a lying skill. Should we make someone a liar as well?
Oh yeah, definitely need some liars. It's really good for trading and negotiating.
Oh, okay.
But we'll make him a conversationalist as well. I feel like that's important if you're going to be a liar. What if we had just a really good so like all of these are like medical skills: wound dressing, diagnosing, surgeon, bone doctor, suturer, crutch walker. That's important for being able to move around once your leg has been smashed by a forgotten beast that you accidentally unearth.
Okay. So you shouldn't make someone a good crutch walker like preemptively. That doesn't make sense,
they might get eaten by a dragon. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So why don't we make this one a good musician?
Wait, can we rename them? I want to be in the game. How do you rename people?
Yeah, we can. Once we get in, we can.
Okay, we'll rename them when we get in. Okay.
There's maybe a way. I think yes, we can give them a name. This is Robert.
Okay.
Yang. And we can give him a profession name.
Oh, arts professor.
Arts professor. And how do we?
Oh wait, I'm hiding the bottom of it. Oops.
Yeah.
Is it escape? Probably.
It's probably escape.
Okay.
Yes, good. Robert Yang, arts professor. And I think as an arts professor, you should be a teacher. That makes sense to me.
Okay. Yes.
It's at the bottom.
Why is teacher at the bottom?
Well, because it's either the least important or the easiest to get to by pressing up.
Oh, okay. That works on me. Okay, I'm into it.
And we'll make you a fluid engineer. I don't know
Okay.
why. When I think of Robert Yang, I think
think of fluids.
I think of fluids generally.
I am into fluids. That's
It's
very true.
I guess we should put me into the game.
Yes.
All right. And what should my adjunct professor?
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like as an adjunct professor, I'm moderately. I'm maybe a skilled teacher, but I'm still potentially a student. You know what I mean?
No, but you're
I have discipline, maybe.
Conversationalist? You do like talking.
I do like talking.
You should increase your conversation skill.
Conversation skill. I actually used to work at Upright Citizens Brigade Theater.
Oh, okay.
So I think we could say
Yeah,
I'm a
you should
comedian.
increase your comedian skills.
I was a writer for a long time.
We're never even gonna play the game. We're spending like 20 minutes just setting everything up.
Yeah. So we'll just embark with this.
Okay, sounds good.
It's saying that we haven't given them a lot of stuff.
73. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, it's so dense. Okay.
So here we are in this world. So this right through the middle, we have a river that's kind of like burbling.
This is in real time?
This is Brook. Yeah, this is the fortress. Right next to it is if I this X is us. If I designate this right here is all of the dwarves that are sitting around. Here's a couple lakes. Here's
Wait, the letter
mountain.
H is a
A
dwarf?
horse. No, that's a horse.
Oh, we have horses.
Yeah. Does this have?
Oh, the
scrolling?
smiles.
Can I scroll with this?
I don't. Yeah, you 2 fingers like a
Two
Mac.
fingers. Okay.
In theory,
Um.
but maybe there's
Maybe.
not support for it.
Okay, I know how to zoom on my Mac, but I don't know how to zoom on this. Anyway, right here is all those little smiley faces are our dwarves.
Okay.
They're all blue because they have no hard skills. They're all
square brackets, someone says in the chat.
I don't think that's true. Or that's not doing it.
Okay, well, this zoomed out view is okay enough for now. Okay, so we have a little town next to the river.
We have horses, we have a wagon. In fact, the wagon kind of counts as a building, so we can remove it, which needs a carpentry skill. But once they remove the wagon, they'll have some lumber. And then one of the first things that we want to do, actually, because we jumped right in without giving them anything, they might actually not have picks and be able to dig.
Wait, they don't have items?
Yeah, we might not have given them items. So let's see if any of them try to start digging.
So you just queued up like a little fortress for them to start digging.
Yeah, and so instead we'll abandon this fortress to ruin and start without preparing delicately.
Oh, okay.
We can still make a Robert Yang.
Okay. Oh my, wait, so
those dwarves are gonna do their own thing now.
okay, they'll just live somewhere else.
They'll live there. They'll probably die.
But like
out
in
of
an
the
alternate
elements.
reality.
No, alongside our game.
Wait, what?
There are now dwarves outside of Sparkle
They're
Feathers.
NPCs now.
Yeah, they're now NPCs.
Wait, okay. Wait, what? Wait, so you can just keep playing in the same world
Yes.
and
yeah.
keep starting new things.
Yeah, and so in adventurer mode, the net hacky mode, you can go visit your old fortresses, your current fortress. So we'll just start at
let's just go.
random
Let's jump
place.
in.
Yeah, we'll jump right in. I want to grab.
We have
a little
7
bit.
minutes left. We haven't even played the game yet. Let's. Okay. People in the chat. Unknown Abyss says shift. Oh, Tin Kelp says shift.
Shift in.
And shift in pointy brackets.
All right. So we'd skipped this before, but we have left the mountain homes. We're there. We have a party of 7. This place is named Trust Galley.
Okay.
All right.
I'm into it.
All right, so now we're at a new place with a new brook.
Okay.
And you see now our dwarves are different colors because they actually have skills. If I like tell them to like dig into here, one of them will actually do it. Yeah, so now
they have the skill.
Yeah, now they have not just the skill, they actually have
a
things
pickaxe.
to dig.
Okay.
Yeah. So there we go. That's how you. The suggestion for how to zoom in is how you go up and down. Actually.
Oh, Z levels.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can actually see like. Again, here's our dwarves and the wagon that they rode here. This one came with donkeys. We can actually like go over each of them and look at them. This is a stray dog that we brought. Actually, it's not a donkey. These are a yak cow, which is tame. We can milk the yak cow if we need milk. And this is a yak bull, so they can make more yaks.
Okay.
Over time, if we use animal husbandry. Someone's suggesting we look at the thoughts and preferences of a dwarf.
How do you look at the thoughts and preferences of what? What am I even talking about?
This is Kogan Whiplock, the jeweler.
Okay.
Who came with us. And he.
Wait, what?
This is everything this dwarf is currently thinking about. This is what this dwarf cares about. This is just this dwarf's whole. He talked to a friend, but he wasn't fond of this. Maybe being out in the elements, maybe talking to a friend. He didn't feel anything talking with a friend. That's kind of dark, actually.
Nobody dreams of raising a family.
He dreams of raising a family. He's an ardent worshiper of Eric Earthmauve, the oily dyes of taxing. He has the appearance of someone that's 81 years old. No, that checks out.
Wait, what? Wait.
He's clean shaven. He has a long mustache and double braids. He's kind of got a Gimli look, I guess.
He is not distracted after being unable to pray to Arak, Earthmauve, the oily dyes of tech.
Yeah, we haven't built a temple yet, so there's nowhere for poor Kogan Whiplock to pray, which is very sad. But he's undistracted by that.
This is just like when like those BioWare like Codex wiki things. It's just like sweeping, or when you're reading any game wiki and it's just like Dark Souls lore wiki. It's just this is just procedurally generating all the lore, generating all the towns and characters.
And this is updated as like if Kogan Whiplock gets rained on, that will affect his mood. His mood will go up or down. And there's something called a tantrum spiral. Where
what's a tantrum spiral?
If a dwarf gets sad enough, he'll start throwing tantrums, he'll break stuff, throw stuff around. And if they throw enough stuff around, they might make another dwarf unhappy enough that dwarf breaks stuff and start throwing stuff around, and eventually they're all punching each other and they can't get anything done. And
can we go back in time and play as Arak Earthmauve?
We can't play as as the god?
Or like see like how the legends were simulated?
Yeah,
or
that
like,
was in that legends mode. Like we could go find Arak Earthmauve
and then go to that simulation. Okay.
We can't like go to the simulation.
Right,
but
okay.
we could see it. So that's we can see how quickly. I think we only have a few more minutes.
So
I would go into like what you should do when you initially start.
Okay. So initially, dig out.
You dig out some to get out of the elements.
Okay.
You can make workshops to build to carpenter things. The D is designate. So one of the things I want to tell our woodcutter to do is cut down trees. So I just selected a bunch of trees for the woodcutter to cut down. Hopefully they don't fall on anybody. And then we'll have wood. You need wood to make beds. And once they
that's reasonable. That makes sense. Oh, and is all the wood?
Yeah, that's the wood.
All those dashes or something.
We can see this yellow dwarf here is cutting down individual trees. And as he cuts them down, the wood falls into pieces.
Okay. So now they have to collect that wood and bring it into the fortress, right?
Well, we could have them do that, but
Otherwise, it'll get wet. Is that a thing? Can the wood get wet and then rotten?
Wood can't get wet in this world. Wood
Okay.
is just exists forever. Food rots unless it's in a stockpile. And so I'll use some of those logs to make a little carpenter's shop right here.
Okay.
So this guy just grabs a little bit of wood.
Okay.
He's building a carpenter shop.
Okay, so he's like right here.
Yes, that's a little carpenter shop he built right here. And
okay.
now I'm going to add a task to make some beds. So I'm telling it to construct 7 beds for our 7 dwarves. And so now the carpenter is going to drag over pieces of wood.
Why are you building the bed just out in the wilderness? Shouldn't you be building it inside the fortress?
Well, this dwarf is building the bed objects, and then we're gonna build it into this barracks that we made here. I might as well make another workshop for as a mason's workshop.
We have like 2 minutes left.
Okay, and we could make a door that way. But do you want to do the honor of building the first bed?
Okay. Tell me what to press.
You're going to press B, which is the building button.
Okay.
And now it pauses the game. And now the second option is bed, which you can get to with pressing B.
B.
And now you can use the arrow keys to move this X, which represents where the bed is, and put it inside.
Oh yeah, because it's red. Okay, so
Yeah.
it turns green when I can.
When you can build it.
I think I'll build it not too close to the entrance, right?
No. You don't want to just have people going past.
What
your
about
bed all day.
right here?
Yeah, that seems good to me.
Okay, enter.
You have options. We have a persimmon wood bed that has been made and an almond wood bed.
Wait, what? We have to choose the wood that's going into the bed.
Well, no, these are the 2 beds that have been made so far.
Oh, okay.
And so there's one made of persimmon wood and one made of almond wood. You can specify the type of wood. If you only want oak in beds, you can have that option in this game.
Oh, let's go with persimmon.
I think that it smells nice.
Yeah, it smells nice, right?
Yeah.
Good dreams.
Yeah.
So press enter.
Enter. And then now you've designated that as a place to build a bed. You press escape.
That's the 0 right here.
Yeah, that 0 right there
Okay.
is the bed. Press escape, so it'll.
Okay.
One of them is going to go to the carpenter shop, grab that bed. They're carrying it in, and we built a bed. Do you want to designate it for one of them?
Okay.
Q.
Q.
And then
Go to the
move
bed.
over to the bed. You can hold shift to double move or move by 10 units at a time.
Ooh, okay.
You can press R to make it a bedroom, and then press enter.
Oh, it's a big
Now
bedroom.
you can assign
It's
the
not a
bed.
New York apartment.
Yeah, no, this is maybe a Columbus, Ohio-sized apartment.
Okay,
You
assign
can
this.
choose who you want to have get it.
Oh no, Robert isn't here anymore. Robert's dying on the other side of the world.
Robert is just exposed to the elements.
Oh my God. Okay.
You use shift plus and minus.
Oh, okay. Let's give that to that guy.
The expedition leader.
Yes.
All right. The expedition leader has a bed. Now when he gets tired, they won't fall asleep just in the middle of nowhere. They'll sleep in that bed.
Okay, so to review,
review.
first steps are dig out a fortress,
The beginnings
build
of a
some
fortress.
beds, build a carpenter shop, get some wood, build out the beds, designate bedrooms.
Yes, and at that point, probably a wild beast will come and eat all of your dwarves.
Oh my God.
So you realize you need to make a door to your fortress. or
There's
maybe
like
a
wood
bridge.
everywhere. They're chopping down like the entire forest.
Yes,
They just won't stop.
deforestation is a big part of.
Oh
being
my
a dwarf.
God.
Yeah.
This is intense.
It is potentially the deepest simulation game that I've ever
Wow.
played. If you're interested at all and you come by the Game Center at any time, I will happily play with you and answer any questions you have. I'm no expert. The Dwarf Fortress Wiki is super useful, and there's a couple good tutorials in there.
Well, we might have you back on because everyone in the chat seems very enamored with this.
Yes, as they're completely right.
This should be the new I'm walking here. This should be the new regular segment that we do.
That we could make the Game Center in Dwarf Fortress.
Oh my
could, like,
God.
We could make the floor. We could make like
Frank
office
Lantz
for
will be
everybody.
expedition
Frank
leader.
Lantz is an expedition leader. Naomi as the like negotiator and soul of the department.
Okay, I'm into this.
Yeah, I
okay.
think this would be a great segment.
Okay, this is a good idea maybe for next year.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately I've already planned a lot of next week. So
Don't worry.
next year, don't go anywhere. We need you for Dwarf Fortress.
All right, I love it. All right.
Well, thanks so much
Oh,
for
no, of
coming
course,
on
yeah.
and telling us about this magical game, obtuse, arcane
Very
game.
arcane, bizarre game. Yeah, I'd also recommend checking out Room Carnage. It's like, a lot of people have done these long Let's Plays of Dwarf Fortress, because Dwarf Fortress is such a deep simulation. It's always super interesting just to see what kind of crazy stuff happens inside of these games. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
All right, well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for Dwarf Fortress and the show. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. Let's cut to credits real quick. I was your director/host, Robert Yang. The news organizer, co-host is Naomi Clark and Frank Lantz. Operator behind the scenes, fixing the camera like every 5 minutes when our equipment fails us, is Julia D'Amato. Graphics were by Winnie Song, and our captioning was by Mirror by Night of Steno Night Cart Services. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a good rest of your day. And if you live in the New York area, again, please come out for Playtest Thursday and our talk tonight with Marie-Claire LeBlanc Flanagan.
And come play Killer Queen tomorrow and every Friday.
And yes, Killer Queen 5v5 Fridays. We have a lot of events open to the public. Please check us out.
Yeah.
Bye.